So let's go back to one of the most common questions. Leaderboard, that makes me uncomfortable. Do I have to have it? The answer is no. Everything I've told you about 3 minutes is true, but now I'm going to tell you about this one magic button, settings. So Delphinium tries to really, doesn't try, it does really well at walking this balance of simplicity with ultimate flexibility. So I'm going to click it, and we're just going to give you the keys to the kingdom to change everything. So if you're a teacher who does not want to think about this very hard, 3 minutes, you're done. You don't have to do anything. But if you are a teacher who likes to customize things, you can go to the Layout tab and edit the current layout. So if you recognize this, it's the same thing you were seeing before. But let's say I don't want to call this last day to submit assignments. Maybe I want to call it days to do. Feeling very Halloween-y today. That's what it's going to get called, right? If you give teachers this layout, which maybe you don't, I'll show you in a second what your other options are. They're going to want to come in and edit this and put their picture in and change the name to their name. You are probably going to want to create, if you don't have these links, you probably don't have, they're not real links, they don't go anywhere. But maybe you do have a handbook that, or a policy list that you want to put on every course or something like that. You can create your own iron template and make that the 3-minute experience. So you don't have to do that at all, but a lot of times somebody in your position will say, well, I want to put our school logo in the layout, or maybe I don't want the picture of the teacher there. Online schools, K-12, they tend to like to have some visualization of who the teacher is kind of right there. Maybe you want to link to their scheduling, or you want to put a link to Zoom or something that you just want to be super easy. A lot of flexibility here. You can change a lot of things in that. I'm pausing to let that absorb.
No, you're okay.
We can do things like, let's go to the leaderboard and let's just delete it. I didn't want it, it's gone. Maybe I don't want to replace it at all. I can delete that little cell. So now that's just what's on the page. Let's say I wanted to redesign the page entirely. I can change the name, maybe Game On. That's like an old Wayne's World reference. I don't know, let's think of something kind of dumb. Game It Up. And you can choose a different icon. There's 500 in here. Let's make a little crown. And you can choose your layout. I think what I have in here was a 3x1. This is you can go 2x2, 2x1, 1. I don't know, let's pick something obnoxious like that. And let's drop some things in there. Let's see, I don't want that one. I'm just doing stuff so you can kind of see me.
No, you're fine. You're good.
Pretty much it's drag and drop. Let's say you don't want it here. Pull it down there, that's fine. Pretty clean. There are these double bars on some of the modules. I don't know if you can see that. So you can adjust how wide things are. Like let's say we went back to content. Let's get rid of this box. Let's move modules up here. And make it really tall and skinny instead of wide. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could.
Okay.
Do you have home pages already made for every course?
Well, okay, I'll take that back. So this was the first semester where we had a semi template made, like kind of had a template. It's quite literally, I mean, it's super basic. It just says iron online, the teacher's picture. I mean, it's a lot like that one.
Okay.
And then it's like our contact info, and that's pretty much it.
Well, and so that's something you can build into the Delphinium template that then just automatically is there for everybody when they turn it on.
Okay.
All that was is just a text box. And, you know, you can just open it up. Oh, find a picture. I don't even know what's in here. These are all going to be screenshot pictures, but
Okay.
anyway. So, and just create it like that. I recommend that you kind of do some thinking ahead of time. Get a couple of your thoughtful teachers together. Definitely less is more. I've seen some awful, overwhelming homepages that are just like, we gotta have color, and there's like 1,000 colors, and it's so much is happening that nothing is happening for the student, right? They just have so much. We definitely try to keep it clean and open, just so your mind can go to the part you need to be nudged
Okay.
at that moment.
Is the template, is that held like through an administrator,
Yes.
whatever, for Delphinium?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll show you that. I wanted to show you something else first, though. You can
That's
have
fine.
several templates at the same time. So
Oh,
instead of editing the current layout, I'm just going to pick a different one. So you might get talking to your teachers and find out that some of your teachers want a very gamey. We want to really highlight all the game stuff. And other teachers are like, no, 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 no. I just want the modules and nothing else. You can make different templates and choose those instead. So I'm going to choose this template, which is our most generic one. It is really like turn it on and do nothing else and you're good to go. You don't even have to change your picture. So you were saying earlier that because there's so much visually happening, it might throw some people off. Then you might point them to this template instead, which is just even simpler. And if you wanted to, you could make more simpler ones. So let me show you how that works. In the Canvas admin area, do you have access to that?
I think I have admin feature, but I'm not 100. Well, I do have admin feature, but I'm not sure I'm going to have what you need.
You should have this button called Delphinium in the admin world.
Okay. No,
So
I don't.
you don't have it?
No, I don't think so. Do it one more time where I would find it.
So I went to, do you have a key up here, this admin?
Yep, I have that.
And can you click your root course or your root account, I guess?
Nope, I don't have that. So that is going to need to be fixed.
Who owns your root? Who is your root admin?
And I guess it's Corey Henwood.
Probably. I worked with him the other day to set this up. Let's try to figure out with Corey. You won't do this a ton. You'll probably just settle on like 2 templates or 3 templates max, or just one. Okay. Well, I'll just show it to you though, so you'll have that memory.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we come to the accounts. We're at the root account. I'm going to open the root account, and we're going to get a list of all the courses that are using Delphinium right now.
Oh, nice.
From here, you could actually open the Delphinium piece of that. So I'm going to click View, New tab, and it's just going to open the Delphinium part. The Canvas part's not here, but all the Delphinium parts are here. So if someone's got a question and you want to kind of help them, you could just, without having access to their course, you could jump in.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Different than Canvas is jumping in, because Canvas jumps you into the whole course.
Yeah.
You can do it from there too, and if you have that access. But if you don't have that access and you do have this access, you could do just the Delphinium part.
Okay.
If somebody has tweaked their own course, or you have tweaked your course to a place that you like it, and you want to share it, there's a button, save this as a template. And that becomes one of those templates that I was showing you right here.
Okay.
If it will, there, one of these, that's where one of these came from. The accounts template specifically. It'll show up as an account template. If you, well, all of your templates appear here. Right now, the default is the one I make, global. So I'm global, your account. So basic global is the default. So that's the 3-minute experience.
Okay.
But if you make one that you like better, you can change that to be the default, and then that will be the new 3-minute experience for your teachers.
Okay.
So if you want to take that one that I made that had the picture and all that, and just really make it nice for your school and then turn it into a new template, you can do that. You can take one of my global templates and copy it and save it as your own account template and make changes to it. If you like, if you want to start with mine and then tweak it, you can do that. Or you can just start with an empty one and just do everything by yourself.
Okay.
Just put those all in. I think that's everything I want to say about layouts. Why do you care about layout? It's for those teachers who don't want to spend time on this.
Right.
Crowdsource the best ideas into a template for your school and make that 3 minutes, and it's done for everybody unless they want to do more. You okay with that?
Yeah, actually I am.
Let's look at some of the other settings. Do you remember in the video where you set the start date, the end date, and the max points?
Right.
Here you can reset all those again. Do you use grading periods in your school?
Well, we have terms and those are different. Those are different for everybody. So start and end date would be the grading term, really.
So sometimes a school will have a different
Oh.
Canvas shell for each term, and sometimes they'll just keep one shell for the whole year.
Yes, and you're
Which
right. We Iron Online, we did actually do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we did actually do that. So we have our master shells and those just keep running. So
So the
yeah.
way this, I'm going to turn on terms in this class then, so you'll get a better idea of what that looks like.
Okay.
I gotta remember how to do that though. I don't use them. I'm a university professor, so we don't use this feature very often. So I hope I just turned it on. We'll see. I did. Sort of I did. There should be, I think I don't have it set up right. There should be a drop down box so I can select which grading period I'm in right now.
Oh, okay.
And so whatever, so if you're the teacher and you want to look at a different grading period, so the way Canvas works is it displays different assignments depending on which grading period you're in.
Right.
And that's all based on the due date on the assignment.
Right.
If there's no due date, it puts it in the last grading period. Delphinium, you just have to tell it what is the current grading period you want this to be seeing data on. And if you want to, you can force all of the students to be in the same grading period with you.
Okay.
Why do it that way? Because at the beginning of a grading period, a student might want to go back and see how they did last time, so they can toggle to a different grading period. But they won't have any of the current assignments in that grading period.
Okay.
This is not a Canvas Delphinium thing I'm describing. It's a Canvas thing. If it's new to you, it might take you a little bit, but it works exactly the way Canvas works.
Okay.
It's just that. Okay.
Now let me ask you, so if, let's say biology, I've built out because we've done some of this. I've built out a template course for quarter 1, and I'm now building out my course for quarter 2, and I want to import the entire course, so I do it. Will the Delphinium overlay come with it, or do I need to go in and each new course I need to go in and overlay?
If it's a copy from a previous course that used Delphinium, Delphinium will come with it, and all of
Okay.
your things will get copied.
Okay.
So in this video, do you remember at the beginning where it said, if this is a new course, Delphinium will recommend that you use the default
course.
settings.
If it's the first,
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay.
What Delphinium is going to do is try to detect if this is a copied course from a course that used Delphinium. If it
Okay.
is, it will say, let's start by loading. And instead of saying the default Delphinium settings, it will say, let's start by loading the Delphinium settings from biology.
Okay.
And it will know to copy it directly over. There's another button here that says, show me other options. That will bring up these options.
Okay.
So you could choose a different template from here, or imagine this scenario, Cassie. You made biology. You're very happy with how it looks, and now you need to do biology 2. And you've designed the course identical to the other one.
Right.
Just come in here, copy settings from a different course. You'll just go to your biology 2 and copy Delphinium settings from there into this course.
Okay.
You're really only going to do this like once until you're happy with it, and then it just copies and copies and copies after that.
Okay.
Okay. Back to settings. You mentioned that some of your teachers are not using modules. And then you said they're not even building assignments. I can't help you if they're not building assignments. But if they're not using modules, but they at least have assignments in the video and here, you can switch to doing assignment groups instead of modules.
Okay.
That way you'll still get the boxes, and the things inside the boxes will still be what's in that assignment group, but not,
Okay.
again, we're going to try as hard as we can to not make the teacher do anything to use Delphinium, but turn it on.
Right.
I'm going to not talk a lot about this one. It's not a very common setting. I'll just say that every once in a while, a teacher likes to grade like a video game. Instead of 100%, you start at 100% and work your way down. You start at 0 and work your way up.
Okay.
It's not very common. If it comes up, this is a good place for me to introduce this button, Learn More.
Okay.
Click it. Here's a tutorial on zero-based grading. Modules versus assignment groups, Learn More. It's going to tell you about these different settings. Down at the bottom of the page, Learn More. What I'm trying to say is there's tutorials embedded all over the place. If you're on a page and you're not sure what to do, look around for a Learn More button. If you open it and it doesn't answer your question, please tell me. I'll fix it so it's the next person doesn't have that experience. I've written about 100 tutorials in here. There's this thing called the expert's dilemma. I've kind of forgotten what I don't know. And so I need fresh eyes to help me to kind of dial it into where it makes the most sense. Okay, I think that's everything on the course settings that I want to talk about.
Okay, let me ask another question.
Please.
So in the Delphinium, in the layout, so if you'll go back out where each of the units are set. Yeah, just go back to content. There you go. So oftentimes with the Iron Online, we're really heavily favoring a standard-based grading model where the kids, their grade truly is only made up of their quizzes. That's it.
Yeah.
There are some exceptions. We're seeing some exceptions in math, a few in language arts, like they have to physically do some stuff.
Yep.
The kids have the practices embedded. I mean, so like my biology course has, a pre-test, it has 7 different assignments, things they can do to practice and learn, and then there's a post-test.
Yep.
So those assignments, like a hamburger, the stuff in the middle is not necessarily point allocated, but it would be nice to be able to see whether they're working through it.
Yep.
So can I embed it as those assignments with like a 0 point, and will Delphinium still give me progress, like if they're working through it, or do we have to do a point allocation in order to see all of these features? Does that make sense?
Yes, let me tell you how I've seen people do it.
Okay.
What I've seen people do is they typically give 4 points for every assignment.
Okay.
4 means your mastery.
Right.
4 means mastery. 3 means less than mastery. 2 means you got to do it again, and 0 means I don't know. You get the idea, right? So they
Yeah.
give every
It's a lot like
assignment,
Mastery Connect. Yeah.
every assignment has 4 points, right? Then in the assignments tab, they'll make 2 categories, one for mastery and one for practice.
Okay.
Everything still has 4 points, but they'll tell the mastery assignment group that it's worth 0% of the grade. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
So then, grade-wise, you're on track. You're only giving grade to mastery assignments. But Delphinium will still see the points in the leaderboard, prize boxes, and avatars.
Okay.
So those points will count, giving students a reason to do them, but they don't
Okay.
affect the grade.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Then 2 other things I've seen people do. That's a pretty low level thing you can do, right? Just sort the assignments into 2 categories. That's all you have to do. And it's pretty clever because the complaint I always hear is the kids have no motivation to do the practice assignments.
Which is what we're getting from our teachers right now. I just sat in a meeting yesterday, and that's what I'm listening to.
So you're looking at one layer of motivation we can add right there.
Right.
I'll show you this in a minute, but Delphinium can add tags to assignments.
Okay.
So you can create a tag called practice. And then you can create a progress bar on just practice assignments.
Oh, okay.
So the group I was working with before, they had 2 tags. One was mastery and one was practice. And so then they had 2 progress bars. So the teacher could just look at it and say, okay, mastery, they're about 75% through, and practice is 10%. Something's going wrong. They
Okay.
can just see it right there. There
Okay.
is a principle, a psychological thing called the endowed progress effect. And this is when you show people progress on a thing, there's something in us that wants us to make it go more. So just having those bars will be a subtle nudge for some students to help get them to do that practice. So that's another type of nudge we can give students to do things that don't affect the grade.
Okay.
The last thing you can do is what I've seen someone do is they made 2 leaderboards. One, they made the mastery leaderboard, and the other was the practice leaderboard. So then you've got kids who are dominating the mastery leaderboard, but they're way down in the practice leaderboard. Yet another reason for them to go in and work on practice assignments. So those are 3 things that we can do that do not change your class in any way, do not change your grading in any way, but they give students a reason to go do those practice assignments.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
There's a fourth thing we can do that I haven't introduced it yet, but we can create achievements around those practice assignments. So finish 3 practice, here's a badge.
Okay.
Those badges then get pushed into the leaderboard so other people can see. We call it the brag board. So there's 4 things you can do with Delphinium. It's a little more work than turn it on in 3 minutes and don't touch it again.
Right.
But that's why it's not in. I don't bring it up in the beginning. But when people start asking questions like you're asking, we've got at least 4 ways now to encourage practice assignments without affecting the grading.
But if we were to go through it and we were build it out as a template, my teachers still have the 3-minute rollout. I'm just investing all of the work and trying to build it out, right?
Almost. Templates don't know anything about assignments.
Okay.
They can't, right? It has to be something that wakes up in any course and is just okay.
Okay.
So but we have tried to make it as simple as we could. So let me show you how to make a tag. So I'm going to go back to the gear.
Which really is not terrible because I could do, precursor work with the teachers. Look, this is what I need your Canvas course to look like. I need the 4 points, I need this, and have them do that pre-work. Then when we go to roll out, everything should slide into the Delphinium template per design. So, okay.
Yep. And you'd only have to set up the tags and stuff once. They'll all copy over.
Okay.
So let me show you tags. So I'm going to go to metadata. I'm going to go to tag manager. And I've already made 2 here, mastery and practice.
Okay.
But if I was making a new one, I would say create a tag, new name, practice, short description, practice.
Right.
Okay, so now I have 2 tags and now I need to assign them. So if you've already got your assignments in assignment groups, right? All the mastery are in one assignment
Right.
group. If you've already got that, then this is a breeze. We'll just say all of these are now mastery. I'll do that again. You just click the assignment category, or you can click them one at a time. But
Right.
if you've got them in buckets of assignment groups already, just click that,
Right.
save it, and now they're all have that tag at that point. So now I have that was easy. Took a few seconds. Now we have everything tagged as either mastery or practice. Let's go back to our layout. Instead of this performance tab, let's pull in the tag tracker. Save and reload. This is the kind of thing you could put in a template.
Right.
And the tag tracker woke up. It realized that it had 2 tags to track, one for mastery and one for practice. And it's telling the student how they're doing in each one right now.
Oh, I really love that.
Similarly, we could come back. We could edit the layout. Let's go to the game on tab. I'm just going to make room. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to add a second leaderboard. Save and reload. And this will be a good segue into my next topic. So right now, one leaderboard's loading and the other one's not because it doesn't know what to do.
Right.
So I'm going to open up the settings and I'm going to go to the components tab. Can you follow that this is another, it's kind of like when we were editing the layout, it kind of mirrored. So I'm mirroring here's all my tabs. And if I change the tabs, look in the background, it's changing too. So here I have leaderboard 1, leaderboard 2, and avatars. If you're not sure which leaderboard, you can use the find me. So let's go edit. This is just
Uh-huh.
one big button. I'm going to click it, and now I have settings on this leaderboard. Let's make this a practice leaderboard, so it only tracks practice assignments.
Okay.
And we can go into the other one. Looks like I've already done this. No, I haven't. Let's make this one a mastery leaderboard. Cross your fingers that I didn't. Sometimes I show so many different things in so many different ways that I kind of booger it up a little bit. But
No, that's okay.
maybe I did. Here's what, so if you ever find this situation, you're going to take that link I give you and say, Jared, something's acting weird.
Yeah.
The number one rule is it's always my fault. It really is always my fault because either I've left a bug somewhere that I didn't know about, or I didn't design it well enough that you could easily look at it and understand it. I might go back to the layout. And I might rename these
Right.
masteries.
Master and practice leaderboards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going back to components, let's go back to the leaderboard. Remember I said we try to make this as simple as possible, 3 minutes, but everything is customizable. So let's say I don't want to call this diamond, platinum, gold, silver. Just rename it. Let's call this Padawan and Jedi Master and whatever we want. We can pick different icons.
Okay.
I'm not going to save it because what I wrote there is dumb, but you get the idea.
Yeah, no, it gives that autonomy to the teacher to personalize it.
Most teachers will not. Some will be thrilled that they can.
Right.
Maybe you don't have very many students. Maybe 5 levels is too many. You can get rid of some.
Okay.
Maybe you have a ton of students, add more levels, all custom. All of them work this way. Some of them don't. Oh yeah, so this is where you can decide. Let's say you had lots of tags, but you didn't want all of them tagged in this tag tracker. You could choose which ones.
Okay.
Prize box, you can actually choose whether the hover shows or whether you have to click on it first. Remember the little, sorry, this thing? Some people really hate that. So you can turn it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So you can turn it off.
In the prize boxes, is there, I mean, is it infinite? Is it like capped where?
I deleted it. 1 second. So let me put it back in so I can show you. So prize boxes right now, I think this is your question. There are 10 of them.
Okay.
And everybody has the same 10. We are working on the next version, which will have maybe 60. And they'll be more like mini games on a phone. Little little games, not a lot, like 10 levels to work through or something like that. And the teacher can create their own prize boxes, a URL, an animated GIF, whatever.
Right. How often do the prize boxes open? What's the allocation for that? Do the teachers set that or is it embedded?
Both.
Okay.
Delphinium will do it based on that's why you're putting max points in. So Delphinium knows kind of a range to assign.
Gotcha.
So if we want to, we can go to components, go to game on, edit prize boxes, and you can manually override. These are not points, it's the percent level. So 1% through the points is going to unlock the first one, 3%, 7, 13. The way that Delphinium will automatically assign it is kind of a hockey stick shape. The first ones are really easy to get, and they get harder and harder as the time goes. But it's really up to you. If you think you want to give all of them away in the first 10 points, you can, or you can wait until the last 50% of the points. That's all up to you. I would say don't bother. Delphinium's doing it unless you want to change it manually.
Well, and that's the underlying component of gamification, right? That's how we get hooked. we get through the first 5 levels of Angry Birds really fast. So now we're like, oh, look how I'm a genius. And then all of a sudden now I have to work a little harder and a little
Yes.
harder. Like that's the whole get. So I'm okay with leaving, if it's pre-embedded and there's some defaults, I'm okay with that.
Let me show you one more thing here. This, remember red, yellow, green?
Uh-huh.
You can tell Delphinium where the thresholds are.
Oh, okay.
And there's a couple of other little settings in there. So we've done course tab, we've done components tab, we've done layout tab quite a bit. You saw in the video where Delphinium introduced itself. Do you remember the little bubbles started going around? That's right here. Delphinium will just walk you through the whole interface, including these learn more links. These are all links to the tutorials again. So if you really want to, you can let Delphinium do all the training. Delphinium will go through the whole thing. Later on, you can come back and this is just a table of contents. So if you're like, oh, I'm not sure I remember how the leaderboard works, it will take you there and start the tutorial from that spot.
Okay.
No, almost no one does this. But if you want to, Delphinium will build its own tutorial by itself. No matter what you do to move stuff around and stuff, Delphinium will just keep rewriting the tutorial to match on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get it settled where you like it and you want to add your own step, like welcome to my class, you can add that as something within here, or you can edit the text, or you want to explain something differently, or put a different image in. You can do all that. This is pretty complicated stuff. I think most people don't touch it. I just wanted you to know it's there if you really wanted to. Let me show you my course really quick. This is where we really are starting to get into the weeds. I don't think you'll remember all of this. I just want you to remember that there was something to think about, that you could kind of try to go back and figure out what it was. This is more on the customizing thing. Do you see the background images on each one of these?
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of animate a little bit. If you put an animated GIF in there, then it'll run the GIF when you mouse over it. It's kind of fun. And then the other thing you'll see is that I have organized the modules into 2 different sections.
Okay.
So let me show you how to do that. Go to the gear. Everything customizable is in the gear, and no one ever has to touch the gear. It's just if you want to do stuff
Right.
beyond the 3 minutes. So we'll go to metadata. Before we looked at tag manager, here we're going to look at the module metadata. So here's all your modules. If you open them, there's all the content inside. You can see if there's tags on them from here on the individual assignments. But remember, we did it with the bulk tag setting here. But let's say we want to add a picture to a module. I just clicked this little edit image, and we can select an image. I wish I had something more interesting than a bunch of screenshots of my own thing. Let's try her. This is an AI generated image.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell because her eye is a little wonky, but and oops, not selecting image. And there's her little face in the background
Okay.
there. The other thing you can do in metadata, I'm going to add so these are all the modules, unit 1 classifying matter, that's all in there. I'm going to add a placeholder. And now they're children to that one.
Oh, okay. Now, for what purpose would you do this?
So let me pull that real quick and I'll show you.
Okay.
So those placeholders became these tabs.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's necessary if you only have, what is it, 11 items, but if you've got 40, and sometimes teachers do, 40 modules, that's almost as bad as the gray scroll of death.
Yeah.
So you could, go ahead, what were you gonna say?
No, we've been trying to back some of them off. So,
But this is just a way to kind of bring that down and make it easier for the student to absorb the story visually.
okay.
We're getting close to the end of tools. Aliases is pretty straightforward. Out of the box, you get a list of aliases that I gave you. They're goofy. Disco Thunder, Cactus
Good.
Max, Diamond, Quiet Thunder, Prickly Pear. I do not use these. I go to the master alias list and I just delete them all and then go to ChatGPT and say, make me a list of aliases of 7 letters or less with a comma between each. Make all of the aliases related to biology.
Okay.
And now all of your students are going to get names related to biology. So suddenly a student's thinking, wow, I wonder what a phylum is. I better go look that up because I'm phylum. And so it's or my nemesis is this other thing. And so I'm going to go look it up. So it's a kind of a clever way to pull people into the content a little bit more, bring them a little closer because they are something. That's that's their identity in the course.
Okay.
All right. How are you doing?
No, I'm doing good so far. Um, I mean, I'm not really coming up with any questions per se, but I think it's the common answer. I'm gonna have to get in and start messing around before I'm gonna start getting those questions.
Okay.
So, but so far, I mean, the big thing I had was the practice and the mastery, and you answered all of that. So I think that worked out really well.
Okay. I'm going to now give you a really huge thing that's going to, I predict your jaw will drop.
Okay.
It's really cool and you're going to love it. And then you're going to wonder, how do I leverage it more? So I'm going to do both.
Okay.
So I showed you how you can just show me the struggling kids and message them.
Right.
We have a message center where you can create templates of messages.
Oh, I really love that.
So a common message you're going to do every semester is welcome. So let's say emoji. I don't know, something, I don't know, clown face. Welcome
Okay.
to, and let's be lazy and just put in course name.
Okay.
We're going to save this as a teacher template. That means it will follow me into all of my classes. So if I teach 7 different sections, it will follow me into each one, and then I can reuse it in that section.
That is really nice because I teach 20, I think I have 22 sections, 20 sections.
Yep, and you are managing, you probably have a Word document with all of your most common emails in it or something like
Yeah,
that.
I do. It's a Google Doc, and then I have a master list and everything links in.
So move it into here,
Right.
make it a teacher template. It will follow you around. And then next semester, it will copy over.
Nice.
So I think you're going to love it because we're going to keep doing cool stuff. Once it's a template, then all you have to do is just say, make a message from this template, and it will copy it over into the active template, active messages. Templates can be teacher messages and follow you, course messages, so they're available to anyone who takes over the course from you later in the future. Account messages, meaning you could make them, some of the more complex ones, and just let everybody use them. And global. I've made a few, and I hope to make a few more that I just know everybody's gonna want. There's a lot that I'm about to show you, so just maybe shake your head out, relax a little bit. Let me show you a really cool one that's available at the global level. It's already in everybody's course. I'm going to edit this. This is a weekly progress report. Let me show you the kind of variables we can add. First name, last name, observer. So you could actually address the parents. Course points, total percent, total grade, graded grade. Percentile, that's their rank in the class.
Right.
Page views, that's how many times they've come into the course. Participation count, that's how many times they've done a thing in the course. So replied to an assignment or a discussion board or something like that. We also have teacher name, course name, today's date, first day, and last day. And if that's not enough, you can create snippets. You can make your own variable text. So I have one that's a signature. So it's my name, and then it's my contact, and then it has a sentence that says, hey, I really care about you. If you want to reach out to me, here's my calendar link. And I just add that as a snippet. Later, if I update it, it will be updated in all my messages again. So if I
Right.
change my contact or something like that, you don't have to go to all of the different messages and fix them again. Then we have blocks. Blocks are pre-written blocks of text about the student performance that you can use to help craft your message. So I have most of the blocks here. So it's just a list that you check which piece of data you want to show up. And you can reorder them or whatever you want. But the way I have this set up is I have a section called key statistics, which is, this is actually messed up because I've shown it to somebody else. I want it to be the grade. And I want it to be progress meter. I'll do those. And then down here, I actually added progress again, but I'm looking at quality and different things this time, just to be cleaner. So there's 2 of them in there.
Right.
And then I have the components. So this is leaderboard, prize box, avatars, and prize boxes. And this is a block called achieve assignments. So it will list the assignments that are due in the next 7 days and the assignments that were due in the past 7 days that they have not submitted yet.
Oh, I really love that.
And then thank you for all your hard work. Good luck. So this is a template that I made. You can copy it into the course and change it however you want. Once it's been made, you can go look at it with the preview button, and it'll show you who's going to get the message, If there is an observer, it will list it, and then it will build the message exactly like the student would see it. Hi, Aldo. I hope you're having an amazing week. If there's anything I can do, let me know if I can help. Here's your progress report as of September 18th. That's today. You currently have completed 65% of the available points. You've earned 94% of the points that you've attempted so far. You can, here's where you are on the leaderboard. Here's your prize boxes, your avatar. Here's what's due in the next 7 days. And here's what was due in the past 7 days that you didn't submit.
Right.
You can click a different student and see how it would look for them, just to make sure you're happy with how it's going to turn out before you save it. Now, a message like this, you would probably want to send frequently. So we can tell it to send every Monday, starting the second week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, cool, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go back to our welcome message. That's not going out every Monday.
Right.
We could send it right now. We could send it on a specific day and let Delphinium send it when the time comes. I like this one best. Send it on the second day after the start of the course.
Of course. Yeah, I like that.
Or the grading period, whichever you prefer. So here's the magic. This is really cool, and it's going to mind bend a little bit. Next term or next year, or whenever we're using this again, Delphinium will copy all of the assignments, all of the messages over, and recalculate the new send date based on, remember when we told Delphinium what the start day of the course is?
Right.
I wrote all of my messages 2 years ago, and I just improved them now. It's most in the old system, the way most people are doing it right now, I like to call that communication hygiene. You just kind of have to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
We're going to switch to a model of communication strategy. Start out with a few core messages, and then over time, just keep adding messages, right? When you get 5 emails in a day with the same question, that means 9 students didn't get it, but they didn't bother to ask. Come into Delphinium, answer it to the whole class, send it now, and then edit it and set it to send yesterday. So that next semester it comes out right before everyone has the question.
Okay.
So over time, I used to get 12 emails a day. Now I get 6 a week.
Right.
And the ones I used to get, I answered with, did you read the syllabus? The ones I answer now are, yeah, let me help you. I know you're struggling.
Right.
And it really changes the dynamic of the class. Everybody's happier. This is not
Right.
AI. I'm still in charge of these messages. I'm just letting Delphinium start the conversations. And then I pick them up as soon as they get started. Let me show you another template just to give you an idea of what you can do. Oops. We have this template called a low activity warning. I just copied it into the course. Here it is, low activity warning. The message is, hi student, it looks like you've not accessed the course name in the last 7 days, and I wanted to reach out to ensure that everything's going smoothly for you. This is not a message you would want to send to everyone, right?
Right.
So we can go to the people tab, say filter for these students, send the message if the student's page views are less than 1 in the past 7 days. That way, and then we're going to schedule it so that that happens every Friday. So every Friday, we're going to throw mom on there too. They'll get a message if they haven't been in there in a week and say, look, I see you, I care about you, I want you to stay on task.
Right.
This next part is also very cool. You have to change your mindset a little bit. What you're looking at is a message. a message can be delivered in multiple channels.
Okay.
Canvas only offers 2 channels. Send one message to everyone or send everyone a separate message.
Okay.
Delphinium offers you more. Well, I guess there's actually Canvas offers you a Canvas announcement as another channel. Actually, I'm correcting myself a lot. Canvas also offers you a calendar event.
Right.
We're going to add to that a banner to the top of Delphinium with a message that says, hey, whatever. And then you have to click a button that says, I read it. If that you don't have to, but that's one of your options.
Okay.
So a big yellow or a green banner or a red banner at the top of the page. And a lot of times our students do not check Canvas at all. So we can actually hit up their actual email address. And we can combine those channels into one message. So here's a separate Canvas message for each student. Let's also hit them in their email box.
Okay.
And I'm just going to copy that down here. But as you know, Canvas has very poor formatting options. But in an email, I could do all kinds of stuff. You could throw a picture in and all those things. So depending on the channel, you have different options of what you can send out.
Okay, let's talk about Canvas announcements, because I do have some teachers that they send those out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that with the capability of this Delphinium stuff, is that almost antiquated at this point? Is it, because it seems like rather than putting this general thing out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is more meaningful to shoot it out individually.
But
But
let's go
I don't
ahead.
know. No,
Let
no,
me
I'm just thinking.
so let me give you some stuff to mix in with your thoughts.
Okay.
Let's say it's not this message. This message is very specific to a student who's not engaged. But let's go with welcome. Let's do a separate message to everybody. And because it's separate, we can put in a first name.
Okay.
Let's also, I don't know why you'd want to do this, but let's do a message for everybody. And it won't give you the choice to do first names here, but you can say my name is.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and make a Canvas announcement now. This is a message to everyone again, but we can at least format it and add pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff here.
Okay.
And it will follow the same schedule that you set here. Even the repeating one, you can have it keep coming back over and over. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could. And because we don't think that some of our students are even going into the course, they're just stopping at the to-do list on the outside, on the front page of Canvas.
Right.
We're going to go ahead and drop a message in there. I don't know, let's make it an emoji or something. And if they do make it into Delphinium, we don't want them to miss it. So we're going to have a big old banner. And I don't know, I lost where I was. Where was I? Oh, yeah. And we'll throw a YouTube video in it. And just for kicks, we'll hit their email address too. Now, you would never do this.
Right.
But this is a message with multiple channels all at the same time.
What does it look like? What does a Delphinium banner look like? What will a Canvas announcement look like with the Delphinium overlay?
A Canvas announcement is a Canvas announcement. All we're doing is instead of making you go to 2 different pages to send messages, we're just doing it all in one place. Delphinium is about simplifying the Canvas experience. So instead of knowing how announcements work and knowing how messages work and knowing, all of these different things, we're just going to pull all that into one space and just keep it more organized for you.
Okay, so I understand. So I guess my question really is, if I have someone who drops out a Canvas announcement and I've removed all of the navigation buttons, really but Delphinium, is it going to pop up like it used to. Like you could set the navigation so on the homepage, the announcement would pop up, right? You can do the
Yeah.
2 or 3 or whatever it is.
It'll be there.
So it'll be
Same,
the same idea. It'll pop
same as,
up.
not same idea, the same.
Okay.
It'll just push Delphinium down and be the announcement up top.
Okay. And then what about the banner?
Same idea, but we're gonna make it look a lot better.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think if I've got a course. Let's try to make one just so I can show you.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a new message. I want to find some text. So it's, I don't know, you might have to use your imagination. I'm not that creative on the spot. Let's go with lorem ipsum. We'll just grab a big chunk of lorem ipsum here. I keep losing the page I'm working on. So I'm going to make a banner. And you saw we can throw, I don't know, let's throw a picture in there. We're going to name this welcome and first name, exclamation marks.
Okay.
And a monkey emoji or a dog emoji. And we can pick the color, blue, green. Let's go red because that will really force it into your memory.
Okay.
And we can say students must acknowledge the banner before they can continue.
Okay.
And then we'll say, we're going to call this that's only internal. Students will never see this title. This is so you can follow it. I'm going to send this to all students. Everybody will see it.
Okay.
I'm going to do it now. We can preview it. That's what they're going to see at the top of the page.
On their dashboard when they come in.
So I'll do it right now. So I'm going to save the message and send it. I'm going to reload the page as Aldo. Welcome, Aldo.
Okay.
It's this big blue thing. Please read the announcement above and click continue. So that's what you get when you check that box. Otherwise, it just says okay and goes away.
Okay. As a teacher, can you track who has, I mean, they can't get in unless they click continue, but
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I
not
guess
really. There's no like table somewhere of all the messages and who's
no,
looking.
it's okay. Because you really would know if they, I mean, they wouldn't have activity in the course. So yeah, it's fine. Okay.
I think we're getting close to the end. I just wanted to show you maybe one or so here's snippets. Add a snippet. If it's a course snippet, it'll stay in the class. If it's a teacher snippet, it'll follow me into all of my classes.
Okay.
Signature. Whatever, all the stuff. And then now, we might as well save that. So now if I go over to a message, I create a message.
Drop it on.
There's my signature. And if I preview it, Dr. Chapman.
Okay.
Two more blocks. Then I think we're getting close to the end.
Okay.
I think this block is cool. Actually, I just realized, let me pause for a second.
Okay.
If we go back here, this is where we made templates, remember?
Mm-hmm.
If I go to the message tab, here's those global templates I showed you.
Okay.
Maybe you like my progress report, but you don't love my progress report. You can copy it, that makes it into an account level, which I've already done for somebody else here.
Right.
Then you can edit it, tweak it, or whatever.
Okay.
You can make it a default template. If it's not a default template, it will show up in this list.
Okay.
If it's if it is a default template, every new course will automatically make it into a message, but in draft mode.
Okay.
So you can make these really robust messaging tools, and they will just appear in everybody's courses, and all they have to do is do that, and it's ready to go.
Okay.
And if they want to, they can edit it, but they don't have to, right? We're trying to cater to those teachers who are going to be like, you said 3 minutes, and it'll just be there and work.
Right.
If you don't want to see my version of something, you can just disable it. So I have global ones that I'm making, but if you want to like copy the low activity warning, customize it, you can hide my version so it doesn't show up for your people.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go back to low activity warning. There's a channel that I haven't described, and that is a block called list students who. Hi, teacher name. These students have not viewed course name in the past 7 days. And then you just come down here and you add list students who. This only works in the message type called message teachers and stakeholders only. These messages will not go to students. They will go to you, the teacher. And so list students who, edit it, add to list if page views is less than 1 in the past 7 days. There's a lot of things here. Course points is less than this, total percentile. If a specific assignment is not done yet, or if it's been graded, but or not graded, or submitted or not submitted, there's like you can do all kinds. You can pick a specific assignment, and if they have less than 10 points on it, then it will tell you who that is. It'll generate that list, right?
Okay.
So if we go preview this message, because there's multiple channels, we have to pick which channel we're going to look at. I'm going to switch to the teachers and stakeholders only channel. Hi, Jared. These students have not used demo in the last 7 days, and it generated a list of all those students.
Okay.
So as a reporting tool, this becomes kind of a really flexible way to somewhat informally let people know. So who could you know? So let's go back to the people tab. We have this button that says send a copy to. I'm going to send a copy to me. And I'm going to add my principal.
Okay.
And let's do that every Friday. So once a week, everybody who's on this message gets a list that says, these are the kids who haven't been in their class.
Okay.
One more thing, and then you've been a champ. You've survived it. Good work. Imagine this one message for all students. Hi, John. Here is your progress report. And, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong message type. One message to all students cannot do progress reports, obviously. And that's because it's down here. Here, let me just start a new message. Hi, John, here's your progress report. And we'll put all that stuff in. You'd kind of like to have a little more personal than that, though, right? Wouldn't you want to, if you were writing these manually yourself, wouldn't you say like, hi, John, I see you're struggling. Here's your stats, but why don't you give me a call? You'd want to have that piece. But if the kid was doing really good, you'd want to say, hi, John, so proud of you. Have a Taylor Swift animated GIF. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a conditional block. I see you are struggling. They'll get that message if course points is less than 100. Let's add a different block. You are doing great. And they'll get that message if course points is greater than 100. So you could do greater than, less than, or in between.
Okay.
So technically you could have as many levels as you want. I keep picking the wrong one. Greater than 100. These can be pretty complex. You can add like multiple rules. So add another rule or add groups of rules, and you can do all of these are true or any of these are true. It's overkill if I'm being honest. I just wanted to make something cool. I think one rule is generally fine. So now I've got a progress report with a personalized message.
Okay.
If I go preview that, Aldo gets a mess. Oh no, this is Beulah. I clicked on Beulah. I see you are struggling. I think Aldo's got good grades. Can't remember, to be honest. I see you're struggling. Now I've just got to try to find somebody who's doing well. Well, you get the idea.
I do.
This is all fake student data. If you wanted to see
Yeah.
everybody who's in here, you could look at them all and swap through. I think, anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah.
So this is the part where I say, I'm gonna put a email in the chat. You copy that out so you'll have it afterwards. That'll just take you. I'm sorry. You can tell I'm tired. That's not correct.
Okay.
It is. Let me type it in and make it short. Oh, that's what it is. It's delphi-me.com/support. And there's just a little form there. You're just going to describe what you're seeing that's weird. If it's more complex than that, I'll email you back and we maybe jump on a Zoom or something. If you see anything that seems off, it's always my fault. If people ask you, can I do this? Your answer is, I know the answer. And then you'll step into your office and send me a message.
Okay.
You did great. That was long. I'm glad we recorded. I don't think I've ever recorded this whole training for anybody. So I'll
Yeah,
send
that'd
you
be
this
good.
link.
Out of curiosity, so I don't know how, when, where, or what, but someone from Iron Online reached out and said, hey, we want Delphinium. I think it was from a conference. Is there anybody else in our Iron County School District that has rolled this out?
Not to my knowledge. In fact, we just
Okay.
installed it a couple of weeks, maybe a week and a half ago.
Okay.
I did forget to show you these 3 tabs. Sorry, I keep saying this.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
So really quick, timeline. This is fake data, so it's not very good. But do you remember this chart right here?
Yeah.
That's where you'd find it.
Oh, okay.
Stats. Any questions about stats? Assignments. It's similar to what we show the students. It's got 2 cool features. One is it shows how students are performing for each assignment.
Okay.
I don't usually care, except if it's showing that lots of students are failing. It makes it really easy to find broken assignments. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, it does. We were just talking about that the other day too.
Last thing, I really do think this is the last thing. Let me look around. I think I've told you everything else. Last thing, it's happens to be a giant thing though. In Canvas, are you familiar with the message students who feature?
Yes,
You had to roll your eyes back in your head and think about it because it's
I
really hard
know.
to find. It's really hard to find and it's not super intuitive.
Right.
We have tried to make it as simple as we can. You come to the assignments tab and here it is. If you want to send students a message related to density lab, click it. If send the message if submitted is not submitted or submitted, points, percent, grade, status. This is actually very similar to Canvas's version, except now we can say, John, I
Yeah.
notice that uh, you got this many points on this assignment. Once you've created the, who gets the message, you can generate a preview of like the actual names of the people. So that's who's going to get it. And then we have this button. And now you have all those features that you were looking at before, so you can schedule it.
Oh, nice.
You can narrow it down to specific students. You can send multiple channels at the same time. Much more powerful, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you wanted to send 3 messages on the same assignment. One that says, remember in 2 weeks, it is due. Save that message. And now I've got a little 1 telling you that there's already 1 message on this assignment.
Oh, okay.
Let's add another. Now when I open it, it gives me the list of assignments so I can edit the one or delete it or copy it. Let's
Okay.
make another message. This time we're only going to submit it to students. I don't know, this isn't making a lot of sense, but you could send this only to students who have not yet submitted. I don't remember what
Okay.
I did, but this one would say due in 2 days. And we could change that due date so that it went out on, the right day.
Okay.
So now we save that, and there's 2 messages now for this assignment. So 2 weeks out, it's going to say, hey, everybody, you need to do this. Don't forget. 2 days
Right.
out, it's going to say, I noticed you haven't submitted yet. I don't want you to forget. That way you're not spamming everybody.
Right.
And then we could add one more message, and that would be for people who have, let's say, graded is not graded yet, and say, I'm working on grading still.
Okay.
And we could set the date to that one to 3 days after. Let's say it's some huge project and the kids are antsy to get a reply on it or something like that.
Right.
So now we can just start building communication strategies for everything. And all of this copies over to next year. And so you can just keep improving it over time. I really am done now.
The other question I had was, so once a course is published, you don't have this feature, but I do like the idea, like in Canvas, you can build and play and do what you need, and then you publish. Is
Yeah.
Delphinium live as soon as I put the overlay?
Ish. It's
Okay.
live, but what I would, if that's the scenario, you want to play with it before your students see it, turn it on. Don't make it the home page. You can do that later, right? There's that button.
Okay.
Did I show that to you? Make Delphinium the course homepage.
Yes.
So you can do that later. Turn it on. Don't make it the home page. You'll get a item in the side. Copy the link. Save it somewhere else. And then remove Delphinium again. The link will still work.
Oh, it will.
Yep.
Okay.
So
So
then you
then
can do,
I can take it out of the navigation and be done with it while I'm
yep,
messing.
yep,
Okay.
yep. So you just got everything. That was the boot camp, fire hose, everything. I really
Yeah, I'm
think I
okay with
told
that.
you everything. What I want you to dial back to is where we need to start with the teachers. 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of pre-work that I'm gonna have to go through. There's just some decisions that we'll have to make with regard to specifically like the grading, the assignments, the stuff we had talked about earlier. So,
So I would start with a layout that's as little work as possible, even if that means removing the picture. Who Jordan's school district did not put the picture in. Davis does. So for Davis, each teacher has to replace the picture with their own picture, and that's kind of fun because they put in like, I saw a dude holding a big fish at the lake, right? Or, stuff like.
right.
So they like that, but it's asking a lot of a teacher to go in and do that. So if you feel like you're going to get a lot of pushback, I would remove that requirement, or even go with the basic one I showed you that had no extra information on that page.
Right.
This template right here. This one.
Yeah, the basic one.
Yeah, or just make that the default so they don't have to worry about anything. Just turn it on and you'll get this very basic experience. It won't take long for your teachers to start like showing them to each other and be like, oh, look what I did.
Yeah.
Another common experience, which makes me chuckle a little bit inside, is you'll have a teacher who's not using it, and her students will start coming in saying, why don't you have a leaderboard?
Right.
Everybody else does. And so let that social pressure more than a mandated edict from above help
Right.
drive that, at least initially. Later on, when you've got a little more momentum around things and it's less shocking to some people. We just want to pay attention because the people who will get shocked will be the loudest. I just went through this with a group Monday. They were so excited to put Delphinium in. They didn't really think about the layout. They had me come to the training meeting, introduce Delphinium. I spoke for half an hour. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people are people I met at a conference, and that was the reason they bought in the first place. There was like 5 teachers who were like, whoa, 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 whoa. What about, and they were really having a hard time adapting.
Right.
And that kind of left a sour experience for some of the administrators. They're like, "Oh, did we make the right choice?"
Right.
Compare that to Davis, who took this other approach of, if you're lucky, I'll invite you. Make it a, and then you'd get the group that everyone knows is the forward-thinking teachers. And
Right.
then you open it up and say, well, if you're interested, let them tell everybody how cool it is. And then you say, if you're interested, we're going to open it up to another group of teachers. And you might have to do that another twice or something. And eventually you're like, it's just a much easier sell to say, no, we're just doing this. This is what our students have come to expect. We're seeing good results. Our parents are demanding this, whatever. And
Right.
then you just pull the trigger and say, that's how it is here in Iron now.
Okay. Yeah, I have 4 core teachers with Iron Online, and then we have, 12 kind of stipend teachers who are kind of part-time. So really, I'm going to work with the 4 core teachers first.
Perfect.
Let us roll, let us tweak and do this stuff, and then we'll kind of push it out to everybody else.
I'm
So,
gonna send you another tutorial, another video.
okay.
Well, I'm gonna send you this one.
Okay.
You can use that one to get people onboarded.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna send you 12 years of research and development. Does that look familiar? Tools to help include students this is the online. The first half of our talk today.
Okay.
You can give that out to people to watch through that. And it's the first half of what we did and the last part about all the messaging tools.
Okay.
It doesn't have all the stuff about customizing templates and customizing components and all that stuff. That's a lot to ask somebody, to drop on somebody in the very beginning.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And probably some of the messaging. I'm trying to like get my messaging better. Some of the messaging tools I could probably not share right off because they can be overwhelming. I'm just so proud of all the cool things we made.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it is definitely going to solve some of the problems that we've just had our meeting about was, okay, we need to reach out, but how do we reach out and who do we reach out? And so, no, I think it'll be great. All right.
Amen. Need to take a brisk walk.
Yeah, I definitely need to get up and get the blood flowing, but no, I think this was good. This was exactly what I was hoping it was going to be, was this kind of, like you said, boot camp. So I
Perfect.
got everything and now I can kind of go back and start actually messing around and seeing what I can get from it. So
Okay. Don't let yourself get stuck. If you run into anything, just shoot me an email. We'll figure it out.
okay.
I find that if I make myself very available in the first few weeks, you're not going to need me in 3 or 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
There's not that many features. It just feels like a lot because it's all new.
Right.
We've tried to kind of there's a cohesive story in there.
I know Rob wants implementate. Well, I think what he told me was he wanted implementation and rollout for second quarter. So that is like the middle of October. So I've got like a month. So it
Good. Do you
should be
think
plenty of time.
do you think he'll want to roll it out to everybody right away or just
Um, so next week, the idea is the four core teachers.
Mhm.
We're gonna set aside some time and go through it. And then my guess is after that, maybe a week or so after that, 2 weeks after that, we'll have that soft conversation. It'll be the 3-minute rollout for the stipend teachers is my guess.
if you want, we can meet again as you get some ideas about what you want your template to look like. Unless you're going to use the basic template. If
Okay.
you're going to use the basic, then there's nothing to just use it. It's very stable. It works in pretty much every course. Um, but if you're wanting to customize it a little bit, you can you can go toggle between the basic and the advanced. Or
Mhm.
I think I called it basic plus.
Okay.
There's basic and basic plus. Basic plus has pictures in it.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
I think the layout, I'm leaning toward the tags.
Okay, so in that case, I made
That's
it.
what I'm leaning towards, unless unless Corey and Rob tell me differently, but that's kind of what I'm leaning towards because the courses are already set up kind of mastery practice. I just need the teachers to resort so that all the tagging will turn out correctly. And
Okay.
the resorting it into the groups is not going to be a problem. Like that's not a big deal. It's drag and drop stuff. But I think that's what I'm leaning towards.
So I was showing you kind of a test environment. I'm going to show you the live environment, and the template options are a little different there. Um, you notice how this is the basic plus. It puts the course
Mhm.
name, teacher, and name automatically, which is kind of cool. Oh, there was one other thing I should show you. We should just stop talking and keep like remembering things to tell you. Um, these are your options. Oh, okay, there it is. Basic, advanced, and basic plus.
Right.
Advanced has all of, let me just load it. Maybe. might have to tweak something here, but,
That's fine.
oh no, it's this one. Advanced has a tab called Mastery,
Oh,
Right.
okay.
where I've already added Tag Tracker and the 2 leaderboards. It does take a little bit more work, but I think it's what you're gonna want. It's just not super, it's not 3 minutes. You're gonna have to go in and make tags and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's why I'm gonna play with it just for a minute, just make sure it's gonna fit what I want. But it's under the advanced.
Yeah, and I've got 2 Mastery, 2 advanced in there for some reason, so I gotta figure that out.
Okay. Okay.
I'll tell you one more thing.
Okay.
If you go back to the layout, I kind of already said this. This box here has variable text. So you could actually, in the layout, put the student's name
Oh,
or the course name. It has all the same variable text or a snippet or whatever.
okay.
So that's what these are. These are 2 variables
Okay.
in the advanced one, which is why, oh, I lied. It's in the one I showed you before. I had, this is hard. This is just text. Here, go to layout, edit.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's really lovely. And then teacher name. What if there's multiple teachers listed on a course? Will it just list them both?
It won't. It will list the first one it finds.
Okay.
In that case, you just want to do it by hand. So here you see it says Dev Jared Chapman.
Yeah.
If I was really doing this, I probably would have put, I would probably edit it anyway, because maybe I'd use Dr. Chapman or something like that.
Right.
But it gets you closer and closer to that 3-minute thing if they don't have to go in and
Right.
edit that part. But they
And I'm
can do
okay
it.
with that. I'm okay putting in the variable and then just saying, hey, when you get in there, if it doesn't read quite the way, we can go in and edit the text. That's not a problem. Okay. All right.
And then once they've made it, if they like it and they're going to use it in other classes, they just have to go to the layout tab and say copy settings from a different course.
Right.
And all that work will come over.
Right. Which makes which I'm 100% sure one of the first things they're gonna say is, that's great, but I have 15 courses I'm managing,
Right.
and then that's
This
when I say,
has to
okay,
be easy when it's over.
yeah, like I get that. So let me show you what we'll do. So, all right.
All right, Cassie, you're a champ.
Yeah, that was good. That was exactly what I was hoping it was gonna be.
I'll
So
send you the recording.
yeah, that'll be perfect. Hey, what do you do for UVU?
I teach organizational behavior classes in the school.
Nice. My oldest just graduated in May from there.
Oh, very cool. What did he study?
Heavy civil engineering.
Heavy civil engineering. So like bridges and stuff or bigger?
Yep, roads. He got picked up by a company that sent him up to Anchorage, and he's
Wow.
putting in new runways at the Air Force Base.
That sounds heavy.
Yeah, it is. They've been getting a lot of heavy rain. He's like, yeah, I didn't
Oh,
really consider the weather.
yeah.
But yeah, they needed to extend some runways and add some